All right, looks like I'm live. What's going on, everybody? We'll see if anybody ends up joining me here. This video ain't gonna be too long. I got to get back to the day job in about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this video real quick. Make sure you hit the like button, support your boy. You know, um, but I'm sure you're probably looking at the title of this video, and I mean, hopefully you're not thinking something like, oh man, G Funk is he's hating on Spence or something like that. No, absolutely not, man. Um, I'm just asking a question here about Spence and is fear a factor in his career this far? Because I mean, you know, before I talk about my opinion, I want to just play something real quick. I'm watching this PBC program where they were talking about well, they weren't really talking, but they had Abner Mares, they had Keith Thurman, they had Sean Porter and Earl Spence, and they were talking about the fight. They're hyping up the fight. Um, but I heard Mares say something here, and then Sean Porter kind of chimed in as he was asking a question to Earl Spence about Sean Porter and about his uh, previous opponents to this point. So I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
I don't think you ever fought a style like Sean's. Sean is like in your face type of fighter, and most of the time you fought against fighters that are more stylistically boxer, fearful. I don't know about all.
So basically, Mars is saying that he was saying that Porter brings a different style than what Spence has seen to this point. And then, Porter kind of interrupts and says, fighters are basically scared and fearful of Spence to this point. Do you think he has a problem? I'm gonna play it again. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. Play it one more time.
I don't think you ever fought a style like Sean's. Sean is like in your face type of fighter, and most of the time you fought against fighters that are more stylistically boxer, fearful. I don't know about all that, but more skillful fighters. Meaning.
So Abner Mars goes on to say, more boxer type fighters than an aggressive come forward type of guy like Porter. But to a certain point, I do kind of agree with what Porter's saying here. I mean, let's go back and look at Earl Spence's. Let's look at the guys he's fought to this point. Now, of course, we all know when fighters begin their career, they get cans early on, they get cab drivers early on. That's we know that. Okay, so not holding that against him. But let's go, he's fought guys like, Phil Greco, Chris Algieri, Bundu, Lamont Peterson, Ocampo. And then, the two best guys on his record or his resume are the Kell Brook, and the Kell Brook fight was a good fight. Kell Brook and Mikey Garcia, right? So his last fight, Mikey Garcia, to me, Mikey was probably the most skilled guy out of all these fighters. Um, of course, the size and the size made a big difference there. You jump up two weight classes and you go against a guy who's that big, is a big welterweight like Spence. Um, so I mean, it was kind of a given. I mean, I thought Mikey was going to do a little bit better, but Spence, to his credit, he boxed very very well that night. Um, and Kell Brook. Now, I don't know if people were saying, well, that's probably the fight right there where someone wasn't intimidated of Earl Spence. Well, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know if Brook was a little bit afraid because remember he had just come off the fight with Gennady Golovkin where he got his eye all busted up, and he could have had fear of that eye getting messed up again. So, that could have played a factor also. So, um, yeah, I do think that to a certain point, I mean, maybe he has a point, maybe to this point, fear and intimidation have helped Spence kind of build this persona that he has, that because this is something that I've heard, you know, since the Greco fight, that everybody's afraid of this guy because he's, and don't get me wrong, I believe Spence is the goods. I believe he's, I believe he is that good skill wise. If you don't believe me saying it now, just go back and look at the last video I did on the Porter and his fight with Porter. I broke down the fight. Sorry. Yeah, I broke down the fight and I talked about how skillful and how much I like Spence's skills and how much I like his jab. So, it's not like I'm saying that he doesn't have skills, that he's just some big guy that, tries to get the knockout, you know, kind of like Tyson early in his career, how he, intimidation, I think, played a big factor in the early part of his career. And once he got in the ring with those heavyweights that weren't afraid of him anymore, um, you know, he was a different guy. These were different fights. The fights ended different. He wasn't winning, he wasn't knocking guys out. So you guys tell me what you think, man. Clifton Bronson, what's up, brother? Thanks for watching, man. Um, so yeah, do you guys think that Porter is that a valid point, that to this point, uh, mostly everybody that Spence has fought, they were intimidated or scared of him to this point? Um, I think it's a good question, man. Like I said, I don't agree, you know, totally with it, but I think it's a good question and it's a good point. To this point in Spence's career, that our guys intimidated or fearful of him because he's such a big guy, and he has a reputation of being this devastating puncher. And the see more like listening. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to do that tonight with D Style show. I'm gonna be stuck at work. Um, but yeah, I think that in this fight right here, Porter, I don't sense any kind of fear. I don't sense any kind of intimidation um of Spence in this fight from him. I don't at all. Um, and again, that could play a role, man, if so I'm just asking the question, man. Like I said, I don't think that Spence is overrated. I don't think that, to this point in his career, the guys that he's fought, he's done what he's supposed to do with them. When he fought Brooke, he got Brooke out of there. Now again, was the eye a factor? I believe there was a part of him stopping. You see the eye was closing, but give credit to Spence. He swelled his eye up again. But Mikey Garcia, do I think Mikey Garcia was intimidated by Earl Spence? No, I don't think so. Um, I just think that he was just in there with a bigger, more skilled guy. I don't even know if I could say more skilled. They're probably on the same level as far as, being technically and fundamentally sound. I just think he was just in there with a guy who was just much bigger and much better that night. Just there's no doubt about it. Um, so if they were the same size, would the fight be a little bit different? I think so. I don't know who would win, but that's again, I'm just asking the question because Porter, brought that out when they were on the PBC hype show. So I'm gonna just play it one more time for you guys before I cut this video off, so you can hear what it is that I'm talking about. So again, this was a video, audio that I took from. It was a PBC show. They had Keith Thurman, they had Abner Mares, and then they were both asking questions to Sean Porter and Earl Spence about the fight. So here's what I'm talking about.
I don't think you ever fought a style like Sean's. Sean is like in your face type of fighter, and most of the time you fought against fighters that are more stylistically boxers. Fearful. I don't know about all that, but more skillful fighters. Meaning.
So, well, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? You think Porter's got a point when he says that, you know, Spence's opponents to this point have just been afraid, and I think it's a good question, man. I really do. Um, so I put my 2 cents on it. Um, you guys let me know what you think. Leave me a comment or whatever. Whether you agree or disagree with Sean Porter. Whether you agree or disagree with what I had to say about it. you know? So yeah, I gotta cut this video now, guys. I gotta get back to work in about 20 minutes. So make sure you hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Support your boy. And I'm getting ready to cut this thing, man. But hey, man, I'm excited for this fight, man. We've got a couple days here. It's going down, man. Can't wait to see it. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing off. Talk to you later.